Well, guys, it looks like in our last video we might have been bang on the money about exactly what is going to happen with the future of RuneScape, because today they have released the poll. Well, I say a poll, it's not really a poll. Like, they've called it a poll, but really there's just one vote, and it's voting yes to the removal of Treasure Hunter completely from the game. And not just that as well, they're doing other things also. So, not only is it the full removal of Treasure Hunter, if this gets 100k votes, which I mean it will, like I'm envisioning, like I'm guessing 250k, maybe 300 within the 2 weeks that this is active for. So 100k is a doddle, like they absolutely know this is going to hit that, like no problem whatsoever, but we'll get onto that later. But yes, if that happens, they're going to be doing a full removal of Treasure Hunter. That is like the gambling loot box system that they have going on that no one likes, and it's a massive stain on the game. But people do, unfortunately, or for whatever reason, uh, give Treasure Hunter a lot of real life money in order to open loot boxes and try and win some big prizes. What this also means is the removal of 225 direct XP and skilling items from sale, reducing to 2 directly purchasable offerings instead. You'll be able to buy bonus XP with capped storable limits per skill, and cosmetics with a more grounded visual identity. So these are the only things they say are going to be available for purchase in the future. The bonus XP part, because 54% of people in their survey responded saying that they actually quite liked having ways to progress their skills faster. So that is why they are keeping bonus XP in. And bonus XP, it's like, well, it is still somewhat damaging for the game. It is less damaging than what we have right now by a significant margin, because right now there are just so many ways to get free XP that don't require using a skilling resource. But with bonus XP, you do still have to use a skilling resource, but you just have to use half as many. So it's like it's in some ways better, but really it's kind of less worse. But I do kind of understand that they want to get money somehow, and this seems to be what they're intent on doing. But yeah, that this is probably the only part that's a bit iffy, because in an ideal world, even purchasable bonus XP wouldn't and shouldn't exist. But that is what they're going with. And they also want to deliver a dedicated year-long integrity roadmap addressing core issues like the user interface, which is horrendous to set up, visual cohesion, because right now things are a bit jarring going from one place to another. Auras are an absolute crime in their current state, just absolutely horrendous to obtain with like loyalty points, and they should definitely be dispersed around the game more. And Dailyscape is a massive one. Like Dailyscape, at least on an Iron Man's perspective, is there's just too many little chores. So if they're able to change that somehow, happy days. And I'm definitely glad that they're doing a focus on all of these, because I think all of these things are very important, and more, of course. But they're all very, very important into making the game a more enjoyable experience and feeling much less like, like a little daily task list of jobs to do or chores, which are just like it grinds you away eventually, and then you end up doing things out of habit rather than because you enjoy it. And yeah, that is essentially that. The items they're removing, by the way, these will be removed from sale, and it seems like some of which, depending on the item, um, they will eventually be converted or removed. I'm assuming that will probably be a year after Treasure Hunter is removed. So this is the big list. So there's like, Syndicores for bonus XP. There's like, they mention like skilling outfits on here, but do bear in mind anything that is obtainable via invention will still be obtainable via invention, just like normal. Same with like aura refreshes, they'll still be in War's shop, and yeah, so don't worry about that. Like everything that exists in the game in some way is going to still exist in the game in some way. It's only things specifically from Treasure Hunter that are being removed and, well, not necessarily replaced, but things that are obtainable in game will not be replaced, but things that are not obtainable ordinarily in game will be. But yeah, loads and loads of stuff here. Lucky items, which I'm kind of hoping they're going to redistribute into the store at some point, because these are some quite nice cosmetics from a really long time ago, and they have not been seen in forever, so I'm hoping there'll be a bit of that. Like Slayer masks, no longer Treasure Hunter, but instead from Shattered Worlds. And then the big one here is portables. So portables are not going to exist in any form with this happening, and I do wonder if they're going to make it invention based in the future, because they really should have been. And at the very least, like your tier 3 buildings at the fort should probably count as portables. And one thing that really annoys me is there's an end game skilling item called the Brooch of the Gods. And what it does is it enhances portable effect benefits, which let you just make duplicate resources basically. And it enhances that, but in order to use it, you have to use a portable. So there's an end game skilling item balanced around MTX, and it annoys me so much. Like, I can't stand it. So I really hope they're going to find a solution to that. Like, hopefully that is within there and more that they've referenced up above, because that is honestly horrendous that that's still a thing. Like, it grinds my gears. It does. It grinds my gears. But yeah, lamps disappearing, proteins disappearing. So I'm very curious about these, whether these are going to be converted into, well, nothing, like converted to oddments perhaps. Because yeah, currently these are honestly one of the biggest offenders, because essentially every protein bar that someone gets, that is then a skilling resource, like an actual metal bar that they then don't have to use. Like, same with the planks as well. Like, every protein plank you get is then a mahogany plank that you don't have to use. So in the economy right now, one of the reasons, like probably the main reason why skilling supplies are pretty cheap is because of this stuff. Like, all of these things allow, I think it's 3 minute, possibly even 5 minute AFK, when otherwise you wouldn't be able to do that. So the fact that these are disappearing is really, really cool. I'd imagine, to be honest, that it is probably just disappearing from Treasure Hunter and may not even be converted to anything in the main game, because it is technically possible to obtain proteins by trading in crystal shards to Withian in Prith. So these are technically obtainable in game, but in such rare and small quantities that they're not useful whatsoever. So, like, that will probably still exist, and because of that, I do wonder if these will even get deleted. But eventually, they'll be consumed by players, and then eventually, after probably quite a while, the economy will hopefully recover. There's Silverhawk feathers disappearing as well, which means that the only way to get those, I assume, is going to be from the merchant, essentially. But if feathers are disappearing, then what about the boots? Because the boots also come from Treasure Hunter related things as well. So are they going to be attainable on Iron accounts? Because currently you can get them on Mainscape. I think they're free in like the MTX shop. I could be wrong. But yeah, I'm curious what's going to happen with Silverhawks. And then obviously stuff like Spring Cleaner is going to be from Invention. Although I do like somewhat worry about this, because Springs and Magic Notepaper are technically creatable with Invention, but they very clearly made them so expensive when they put them on Invention. Like, they made them deliberately expensive to dissuade people from making them that way and instead get them from MTX. So I do wonder if there's going to be a bit of a cost rebalance on those things, because yeah, currently they are just a massive scam in terms of like input versus output. So a rebalance there would be very much appreciated. But yeah, that's essentially all the items that are going to be disappearing, which is pretty cool. Yeah, the 54% of people wanted a way to have a progression-friendly MTX option. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this, but yeah, I think that this will have to be the new thing that we have to live with. which is infinitely better than Treasure Hunter. It's still not good, but it's significantly less worse. They're also putting a cap on the bonus XP per skill as well. I don't know how relevant that will be, but we'll have to wait and see. Maybe it'll be like 10% of your total XP, maybe something else, I don't know. But yeah. Also, cosmetics wise, they're actually going to have toggle options so you can disable seeing specific aspects of customization. So I assume that's like each individual outfit slot you can individually hide if you want to. So if you don't like seeing people's Drake pets flying around, you could hide those. Very cool. So yeah, all this is very promising, and it does seem like they're quite intent on just making the game better in the future, which is very promising news, and I'm very happy about. And hopefully you guys are as well. So you can go on the website and do a little voty woty if you want to. 52k out of the 100. Like they obviously absolutely expect this to be done. I'd imagine it's going to be finished within 12 hours of the announcement, personally. But in 14 days, we'll find out their kind of solid next steps onto what is going on. So I'm hoping, it's all going to be quite good. We made a bingo board earlier on. Oh, my mouse is double clicking on stream. We got some of them right. Daily and weekly adjusted, like auras changing, polls being obvious, proteins removed, or whatever. I do wonder though. Like, they say they want to get rid of Treasure Hunter, and Treasure Hunter obviously will be removed. There's no doubt about that. But the question is, when is it going to be removed? Like, I'm thinking it's going to be after Christmas. We crossed this one off. We technically didn't have a full confirmation on that, but I feel like they're going to do it after Christmas in order to kind of just do like one last hurrah. Like, holiday season, people are more likely to spend money. And yeah. Like, it would be lovely if they said, in 2 weeks' time, hey guys, we're removing Treasure Hunter next week, before the Christmas holidays. But I don't know if I can see that happening. And I do worry a little bit. I don't know if worry is the right word, but like this whole announcement thing, it's like it's like, well, I mean, I put the steps here, pretend to give players a choice about removal of bad thing. Step 2, know that players are going to work together to overcome evil. Step 3, don't tell them don't tell them that removal of bad thing is largely due to law changes in the EU, which they're doing something about preventing or making gambling loot boxes not allowed, is my vague understanding. You hype up the event so it spreads between games, like word of mouth, news outlets, social media, and more. But already have begun working on the proposed plans with the intention of releasing them, but pretend that players have to come together to achieve it. And then players are happy and feel like they've won, then the game grows. Hooray! News gets old players back and new players start trying it out. Ta-da! So yeah. Like if Treasure Hunter really is as bad as they clearly believe, does it really need all these this dressing up, bells and whistles, and making it seem like players have a choice here? Like it's very clearly gone. Like it's very clearly going. Like they chose a number that looks big but is actually quite small in the grand scheme of things, so that they 100% know it's gone. Like they know it's bad for the game. But yeah, they've done some little fancy dramatics to hype up people, and it's clearly worked because people are very hyped, as you can see from just various social media posts. Like it might just be the cynic in me that is, possibly I'm happy these changes are happening, but I don't know if it's necessarily for the right reasons. But it is very clever on Jagex's part. It is very, very clever. And what they're doing, this I guess kind of marketing stunt, it is most definitely working. And I hope overall that players do come back, and I hope that new players join because we always need fresh blood. So I hope that happens, and I really hope more than anything that they're gonna follow through with these plans for the game, and I hope the plans are going to be good and fun and just healthy and sustainable and all of the good things. So that is it for now, guys. Treasure Hunter, it's going very soon. This will be the last little while that we have to put up with it, and then hopefully it'll be a nice breath of fresh air. But let me know what you think in the comments about all of this, and I will see you all in the next one.